Hi, Dr. Monroe. This is Natalie Hale. This is my second semester at Texas Tech University, but I'm doing most of it online except for the weekends because I live in Colorado. So my joke for you is, what did one eye say to the other? And the answer is, between you and me, something smells. And we'll begin with the anterior portion of the eye, starting with the cornea. And the cornea is the front clear part of the outer protective layer of the eye. Its bulging dome-shaped curvature provides the major refraction or focal strength of the eye. Next, we have the conjunctiva, and that's the clear membrane that covers the sclera and also lines the inner portion of the eyelids. When the conjunctiva is irritated, it turns red or pink. It's called conjunctivitis or pink eye. Next, we have the canal of Schlemm. So aqueous from the anterior chamber, which we'll talk about soon, flows through the trabecular meshwork as it travels to the canal of Schlemm, which is a collection canal that delivers aqueous to the venous system of the body. So basically it delivers the aqueous to the veins in the eyeballs. And we have the iris, which is labeled here, but is also down here. This is the colored portion of the eye that contains the pupil, so the red, green, brown, hazel. It also controls the amount of light entering the eye by enlarging or minimizing the size of the pupil. Then we have our lens here, and the lens is the resilient, transparent structure of the eye that focuses light by changing its curvature. It also provides secondary refraction after the cornea, and it's located behind the iris, as you can see. The pupil right here is the round hole in the center of the iris, which light passes through. The pupil ordinarily appears black because there's very little light coming from the dark chamber behind it, but the pupil is a hole and it's not something you can touch. So here we are. Here is the aqueous humor, which kind of is this watery fluid that fills the anterior chamber of the eye and provides some of the nutrition for the surrounding parts. Our suspensory ligaments are located here, the long, thin fibers which connect the crystalline lens to the ring of ciliary muscles. And basically this allows the eye to stay in the proper place. So our ciliary body is behind the iris, and the ciliary muscles are the muscles that control focus or accommodation of the eyes by causing the lens to change shape. Then we have the ora serrata, which is located here, the area of the inner eye where the retina ends and the choroid layer of the eye can be seen. This is also at the top or at the bottom of the diagram here as well. Let's see, the vitreous humor is this big spot here behind the lens. And it is a clear jelly-like substance that fills the posterior segment of the eye. Then we have our optic nerve. So here we have our optic nerve, which is a bundle of fibers that carry vision-related impulses from the retina to the brain. It basically connects both eyes to the brain. And a fun fact is that the optic nerve is about the width of a pencil. Next, we have our optic disc or our blind spot. So if you follow this here, the optic disc is the head of the optic nerve where the ganglion cell axons exit the eye. There are no photoreceptors at the optic disc, so this is the anatomical blind spot of the eye. Then we have our fovea centralis, which is the central portion of the macula and has the highest concentration of cones. And it's only here that you can have 20/20 vision. There are few rods in this area. And then we have our macula, which is a small, thinned out area of the retina consisting almost exclusively of cone photoreceptor cells, which provide high visual acuity. So then we have our retina. So you can kind of follow this around the diagram with the dots, receptors here, the rods and cones. This is the retina. And it's the inner lining of the back chamber of the eye, which contains the rods and cones that receive light rays that enter the eye through the pupil and convert the light rays into electrical impulses that are relayed to the brain through the optic nerve. Then we have the choroid layer, which also kind of comes down and across, or kind of in between the retina and the sclera. So the choroid, you can see it's darker here, is the layer between the retina and the sclera, consisting primarily of blood cells, which provide nourishment to the retina. And last, we have the sclera, which is going to go all the way around. Here we go. It is the tough, white, fibrous outer protective layer of the eye.